I've got the block deburred and deflashed and everything, and I think it's looking good. Now we know that Joe's not going to run a gear drive on the street, but while you have that deburring tool in your hand, to clearance a block for a gear drive, this one's a Mylodon, but all you have to do is flatten off that little boss sticking out there, and then if you ever decided you wanted to run a Mylodon or Donovan gear drive, you could do it. You know, you can't grind that with it in the car. The chips would go everywhere. So just because I had the tool in my hand, why not? Even though there's a little this gear right here is what hits it. So we know he's not going to run a gear drive, but why not? You got the tool in your hand. And Joe found out about the 1/2-inch pickup, by the way. But I mean, I'm legit. He said prep the block, so I prepped the block. I mean, you can't. I just thought it was a mistake and it wasn't 1/2 inch because I've never seen, you know. I think he's upset because now he's got to buy a Hemi pan and a pickup, but he'll get over it. He said prep the block. I mean, I'm legit, you know. And I also checked the Donovan gear drive, and they're about the same, but I just checked to make sure that's clearance for too. If we're going to hot tank this thing, we're going to have to knock the freeze plugs out of it. They'll react, you know, if it's galvanized, they're going to react to the caustic, and if they're brass, they're going to react. So they've got to go. And besides, you know, even if you tried to put it in there, you can't ensure the integrity of the sealant. So Joe's just going to have to buy new freeze plugs, is all I can tell you. Now, when you knock these out, most of you have already done this, so it's not you already know how to do it. But there's some of you that haven't, and I know guys that haven't done this kind of stuff. They get queasy and they want to just take it to the shop to do that. But you know, you want to do all you can yourself. When the cylinder is here, the bottom of the cylinder, and so as we knock this out, you'll see why you want to hit it over on this. If you hit it on this side, it's going to hit the cylinder wall, and you won't get enough here to grip on, not as much as you want. So you hit it over on this side where the cylinder being round, it's going away from you, and we'll have more room to pry it out. You'll see how that works. But of course, I'm not supposed to hit anything with a hammer on anything with my right hand, so I got to do this left-handed, so I may look like I'm kind of awkward at it, because I am. I prefer something big and round instead of a chisel, because a chisel might go through if it's an old rusty freeze plug. Well, it turns out they were brass. It's a little hard to hit something left-handed. Well, that didn't work, and that's good. Because that way you have to see what happens when you knock one in. You're going to have to fish it out here and then get a hold of it with your channel locks and then pull it out that way. So that's good. It's a good thing it came out wrong. Nice new freeze plugs, Joe. Too bad. You'll have to go buy a new set. By the way, curious minds want to know, the book says a low block weighs 215 and an RB weighs 225. I was just curious, so I went ahead and weighed a few, and two 440s, one of them weighed 229 and the other one was 228 and a half, and the low block weighed 216 and a half. So the book was pretty close on that. So I'll knock out the rest of these freeze plugs, and of course that lets the caustic get in here on this surface too. Because, lots of times this is all going to be rusty and greasy and nasty. This thing has already been hot tanked once. We're just having to do it all over again because of the paint. But anyway, you know how to do it now. Even if you knock it in there, you just fish it out with your finger, take the channel locks, pry it out. You knew there was going to be a problem child here, didn't you? So you get down to the last one and it wants to be tough. But don't let that discourage you. It got away from me and went in between, and so you're going to have to get a flashlight. You have to get a flashlight and shine it in here, and then get you a clothes rod and look down in here and fish that thing over to where you want it. And it's going to try to be uncooperative. This is the tightest cylinder, the tightest freeze plug I think to get out. It's, as far as coming around, you'll see what I'm talking about. But, hopefully you won't lose it, but it happens. So you look down here at the freeze plug with the light shining in, and then you get it over to the window. Yeah. So don't get discouraged. I know this, sometimes everything doesn't go easy, but you can do it. Now you kind of have to fish around, because you got to find the best place to pull it out from. I think this is the best place. Is you're trying to make that tight turn there. Come on up, baby. There you go. So they won't always go easy, but you were ready for that anyway. Don't get discouraged. Don't let it beat you. After waiting 10 days on the new hot tank fluid, finally got in there and got it in the hot tank, left it overnight, and it did remove 98% of the rust, or the paint, but it left 100% of the rust behind that paint. So it's not been easy. Now I guess I'm going to strip the paint that's left, and then I've got an old drum of evaporust that's 11 years old. See if it will get rid of that light rust that's in there. May not do it in one night, but maybe it will in two. I don't know. But we're getting there. It's just taken a long time. Okay, I'm expecting this stripper to aircraft paint remover, so I'm expecting it to get rid of that. Then I'll pressure wash it, blow dry it off, and drop it in the evaporust drum overnight and check it in the morning. There's a few specks of turquoise on there, but I think I'm overall happy. Now we'll put it in the evaporust. Well, I guess some of the evaporust had evaporated instead. Of course, it's been in here a long time, I understand. I keep it covered, but it's not airtight. I just, laid that top on there. But, so I had to put another 7 or 8 gallons of new stuff in there. And that might, get it going better anyway. But we'll see how it does.